All right. This is actually the last poem in Gully. Probably a bad idea to try to read these two poems back to back, but whatever. Atonement for Sean Thomas Doherty. Dear Sean, this morning at 8:30 on a crowded Uptown 4 train, stuck in a tunnel because of a sick passenger up ahead, a woman gets interested in the cover of your book and asks, "What are you reading?" I say, "Poetry." She says, "Read me one." And other passengers look at her funny, this done-up, corporate-type black woman who wants a poem on a crowded train on her way to work. I'm not sure what to do, Sean. I don't want to disturb the other passengers. But then I think, these motherfuckers are fine when crackheads sing songs and beg them for change. I'm just reading a poem to a woman across the crowd, so I start with, "Your voice after Desnos." And I get to the end and she says, "That's it?" I say, "Yeah." She says, "Read me another." And the rest of the train is type uncomfortable, Sean. There are a couple smiles, some white woman looking at her frowning, a couple awkward away glances, but now there are also a couple folks taking out their iPod buds to check out the commotion. So I think we have a good long stretch on a slow-ass Uptown 4 train between 42nd and 125th, so I read "The Dark Soul of the Accordion." I start slow. Your first line is breathtaking, Sean. My grandfather does not sleep among the roots. And immediately, everybody is hooked. Everyone is in. The tattooed man whose name I imagine to be Gus. The elderly Filipino men in the neat threadbare suits and dirty shoes. The Catholic schoolgirl who's folded down the band of her skirt waist so it can ride up over her thighs. And this black woman with a corporate suit and satchel and muted red nail polish and immaculate hair. All of them are in, Sean. And she's smiling like she won the lottery, and I'm reading your poem on the 4 train like it's mine because I've already read it aloud to myself 3 times over the past 2 days, and the train impossibly crowded, but I'm holding on to the center pole and dancing. My friend Rupa once told me I was kinetic, Sean, that I couldn't talk, let alone read a poem without the words pushing my most fervent prayers away from my ribcage, without looking like I was about to get up and run. And your poem is one I wish I could have written, so I'm reading it almost shouting now. I've got me some room around the center pole, and I'm digging into the words, those taut lines like trenches. My grandfather's eyes are rain across countless countries, you say. Sean, the train knows. It's picking up speed and starting to rumble past 59th, and the train is more silent than every New Yorker's quiet memories of bodies flinging themselves like so many Icaruses from the center of that towering heat. All our unspoken fear except for me, open and praying, chanting your poem now. The orchestra of the accordion's breath is my most verdant lung. I'm bobbing and weaving, me, your poem, and 200 New Yorkers stuck in rush hour traffic on the Uptown 4. It is the week between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. It is early fall. I'm never up this early in the morning, Sean, but I'm doing a class visit up at Fordham University, and I don't do these early mornings, but I'm glad to be up and busy, Sean, because it's work, and I'm heartbroken. I hurt my girl, Sean. I hurt her bad, and I just want to not know how flawed I am every second of every moment, so I'm glad Sarah has offered me this visit. Sarah once recited, drunk out of her gourd, Psalm 100 to me and 10 others in a bar over the jukebox, which I imagine was playing Prince, but it could have been anything, and who knows if this has anything to do with this ride. I'm reading your poem past 86, past 96, me, the train, your grandfather's accordion, a single kinetic organism, and I've got some kind of blues, Sean, because I hurt my girl, and she's never coming back, and I'm looking for any kind of redemption I can find, because I don't fully believe today that I'm a good man, and it's almost Kol Nidre. And in your poem, you ask your grandfather, do you still consider yourself a Jew? And according to you, he doesn't even hesitate. He's on his deathbed. He's thought about this. And he says, what is a Jew? If a Jew is someone who follows the Torah, no. But is that what makes a Jew? And if so, what good for others? What walls? And it's 125th Street. And there is applause, and I almost forget to get off. I'm sweating, and the corporate black woman is already gone, and a couple folks nod, and one dude says, that was a pretty good way to spend a morning ride. And I get off, and of course, Sean, here's the kicker. None of this really happened. But it could, Sean. It could. If I can see my way clear to read a train full of people your poem on Kol Nidre, I might be in the clear, but of course that's not exactly true either. A man can chase his own shadow for a long, long time before he knows anything. Your grandfather knew this. In the end, he followed his mother's voice out of here. What irony, what poetry, Sean. Your papa, a poet, the breath of an accordion, a socialist jester on his deathbed. It's trying to free me on the train. It's crowded, and I'm reading silently but breathing like I'm running. I'm with you and your papa, and I realize for a while my whole body is bending and nodding from the waist. The two schoolgirls are looking at me funny, kinetic. For a moment, Sean, it feels like I'm davening. Thank you all very, very much. Thank you to Urbana.